We are live. Hello, everybody. It's Dr. Mike, Dr. Noah, and Dr. Wanda Lee from Beyond Your Wildest Dreams with our weekly Thursday live stream. In light of what's going on in the world, we know that the World Health Organization just declared coronavirus or COVID-19 a pandemic. We thought we'd do a two-part series on how we and common steps to boost your immune system. First one will be what we do and things that you're aware of but may not be doing. And the second part is going to be a little bit more of a deeper dive on natural substances and products that'll come out next Thursday. So, Dr. Mike, when I say there's a pandemic or when I say you need to boost your immune system or things that you like to do to boost your immune system, what do you do?
Hide under the bed.
That's it.
Is that answer? Okay.
You quarantine yourself under your own bed.
Yes. And pray to baby Jesus. No, all kidding aside, the number one thing that all the experts can agree on is wash your hands.
Right.
I mean, we all listen to experts, and everybody in the realm of social media agrees on one thing specifically. If you can wash your hands for 20 seconds, it will dramatically increase the probability of being healthy. And the other thing that people are really missing the boat on is that when you are healthy, when you don't have an immunocompromised system, the probability of you catching this virus, because it is a virus have time spans. It's not, from what I've read, it's not a virulent virus. Wash your hands. 20 seconds. They've broken it down to 2 happy birthday songs. And I think that's a really big one. So I don't know what folks were doing before. I don't want to know what folks were doing before this, but wash your hands. That's the big one.
Yeah, washing hands is interesting. So it's 20 seconds, soap and water, probably more effective than your Purell, and people are paying tons of money for the Purell. And it's the tops of the hands, the backs of the hands, and even under your nails too. So, it's a pretty comprehensive hand washing. But I forget the exact stats. But on a podcast that we all listen to from that Chris Kresser released, I believe on Saturday, the numbers are something like simply properly washing your hands will decrease the transmission of any of these viruses like 60 or 70%. That's an enormous number for such a simple step. Any other hand washing ideas? Let me throw that over to you, Wandalee.
Well, I think
beating it to dead horse.
There's one more thing that kind of goes along with the washing the hands, and we three work with people all day. We see a lot of people coming in and out of our offices, a lot of varying cultures of microbes that come in and out on various people. And all three of us, I think, can say we're very rarely sick, despite coming in contact with so many people. And yes, we wash our hands probably more than the average bear. But secondly, and a big lesson I think we learn in practice early on, don't touch your face.
Oh, that's a hard, so hard for me. I touch my face all day.
Don't touch your face. Like, really, you just have to break the habit of picking at something or, touching your mouth or whatever, rubbing your eyes. Just don't touch your face. And keep your hands clean. So if you do happen to touch your face, you're less contagious. But I mean, this particular virus, and as you know, we three are not infectious disease experts, but there's some really good science out there around its issue is it lasts longer on surfaces. So cardboard 2 days, stainless steel up to 7 days was one study that they're just starting to release because, of course, nobody knows a whole lot about this. But washing your hands fixes a lot of that. We can't help but touch things. So don't touch your face and keep your hands clean.
Guys, one of our biggest mentors is Dr. John DeMartini, and yesterday he did a video on YouTube. It was 10 minutes. It was poise or panic, and he talked like he always talks about priorities, and he talked about your highest priority steps, what you should do next to boost your immune system. So let me talk about one of the highest priority steps you could do to boost your immune system. Get a great night's sleep each and every night. Make an effort. Maybe go to bed a half hour earlier, or do those things that you always wanted to do, like buy a pair of blue light blocking lenses or meditating before bed, but put a higher priority on sleep and your kids' sleep as well. Let's not forget about them. So Wandali, when I ask about another high priority, what comes to mind?
Well, for me, it is, I mean, sleep is a big one for me. I need a fair bit of sleep. I'm not one of those people who survives well on 5 hours of sleep. So sleep is a big one for me. And my go-to for that is stress rebalancer. We've talked about that on different live streams before, but that just makes such a difference for me. My other kind of go-to thing, because again, we come in contact with a lot of things. I use oil of oregano consistently. It is just a concentrated from the oregano plant, and it has some studies that are quite strong in showing how it kills viruses and bacteria on contact. So if you dilute it in a little bit of water, gargle it a minute, swallow it down, things that are sitting on your mucosa here can be decreased. So that just decreases the load on my own immune system in terms of how much it has to fight off. So I take it when I travel. I use it after work. It's just one of those things. We keep an open bottle in the office so that everybody can access that. It's just one of my kind of go-to hacks for keeping my immune system from being overwhelmed by the quantity of what it has to deal with.
Mike, a high priority step for you?
I would echo without a doubt. Sleep is number one for me. But being that Wanderley stole that one, I will go with movement and exercise. And I'm not talking going to the gym and high intensity training. I'm talking about get out in nature, get out, walk the dog, get out and take a walk around the block. It is really, really important internally. When you exercise, you raise your body's temperature, and what that does is two things. Number one, it increases your metabolism, which is always a really good thing. But number two, when you increase your internal temperature, it kills off pathogens, it kills off viruses, it kills off no, buddy, I can't play right now. Go ahead, back out there. And speaking of my walking buddy, so it really is super important that you get steps in, that you just get movement in. Pull yourself away from the television, away from social media, and go out for a walk. I think that it's huge and highly underreported, highly underrated. So that's where I get it. What about you?
And when we're outside, Mike, what is happening to us just by being outside? The sun is shining on us right now, and now at this time of year, even in the northern hemisphere, we can produce our own natural vitamin D and all the other secret steroids and things that are produced by sun exposure. And I believe this virus is sensitive to heat and sunlight too. So most viruses are, right? Yeah. So you're going to boost your immune system by simply walking and exercising. Other high priority steps I think of is just eating well. And one subcategory of foods that can really help to improve the internal ecology of your body is fermented foods, whether it's sauerkraut or kimchi or kombucha or tempeh, natto, water kefir, the variety of fermented foods. We know that they pack an enormous probiotic punch that, if 60 to 70% of our immune system resides in our gut, keeping the gut healthy through boosting your intake of fermented foods on top of probiotics would be a really wise decision as well. Any other priority thoughts that popped in anybody's heads?
Well, yesterday, I'll tell you, just because we're sharing kind of what we do, and it may or may not work for everybody else. But one of the things that we know about viruses is that they are not as well surviving in heat often. There's been a couple of infectious disease people that I follow that have suggested that that's the case certainly now. So I actually popped in and had an infrared sauna yesterday. And saunas long used by, you know, a lot of Norwegian and Scandinavian countries, Sweden, there, you know, that's a high priority practice, is often having a sauna in your own home. I don't have that, but there are saunas locally that we can visit. So I sat in there for about 40 minutes with the infrared heat, and does it make a difference? I don't know, but it felt good.
The one thing I want to add, and that's brilliant, Wansley. There are studies that show it absolutely boosts immune function. The one thing, and it's staring right at me. We are in the Akinfora house a big believer in this guy right here. This is sage. It's not pot, people. It is sage. Big believer in it. There are a lot of studies, and for years indigenous people use sage in ceremony and using it for different things. For smudging, you burn it, and it is only within the last probably 10 years that it's been studied for its medicinal purposes, and it is hugely antiviral, antibacterial. So that's another one that's under the radar. As Noah likes to point out, we love to hack things. So we don't have any affiliate with this particular person, but she puts out a really nice, there's a Palo Santo. I'll just show her real quick. That one right there.
Oh, yes.
And I gifted these, I think, too, didn't I? These are really, yeah, really good stuff. So there you go. So I think that's what I got for you, Noah.
Great. Well, as always, we're very interested in what your highest priority steps to boost your immune system is. So please share them. Let us know. If you have any questions or comments, please send us a message. We're willing to help. We're willing to communicate. We're willing to help you boost your immune system in light of this. Did I just touch my face? Or no?
That's me touching my face, waving at you. Because there's one more thing I want to add before you sign up. Okay. I can see you winding down here.
Yep.
You know, one of the things we didn't touch on, except kind of about sleep, is stress. And, you know, a lot of people are feeling a lot of anxiety right now because of what's going on. And, you know, sometimes doing these things have value, certainly clinically and physiologically in your body and in your environment, but they also have a powerful effect on your mind to feel like you're taking some control. And in the game we're fighting right now, I think it's your best defense is going to win. You know, there's not a lot of offensive tools out there right now in terms of sort of traditional medical approaches, but having a really strong defense and protecting your mental health as well as your physical health around this is really important.
I agree. Well, stay tuned for next week, part 2, and be awesome and never unawesome.
Bye, everybody.
Bye, everybody.